welcome back. So, real drafts. First of all, we're going to need to add a new draft into the app, and this time we don't want a mock, we want the real deal. So, that's going to happen from desktops or tablets from the Switch Drafts menu icon up here. Then we've got New Draft, and then all we have to do when we've chosen our league in the first, if you have multiple leagues, obviously more than one will show up right here. And then we just need to make sure to switch to real draft there before hitting that green create draft button at the bottom of the panel. I'm not going to do this right now because I'm going to switch to a phone and show you how to do it from here as well. So we're going to go to this fourth tab, which is labeled draft, and it's got these gears there, so stuff happens. And we've got a new draft button up here. Okay, so the switch draft option from desktop is split out. So you've got new draft on the right and list drafts on the left. So we hit new draft there, and then we've got the same panel that you'll recognize that we just saw on desktop. So again, we'll select the league that we want to draft for and make sure that we hit real draft, and then we can create it. Now, the only real difference from the app's perspective for real drafts is obviously it's not going to pick for the other teams, and you need to enter those picks manually as they happen in your draft. We've put some pretty cool features into this app which make that pretty easy to do as the draft goes on. So again, I've just started the draft there by hitting that green start draft button. Once I've got the pick in for the Dulwich Patriots, I click on that pick, or tap in the case of a phone. Now, what it's doing here, it's giving us an ADP list. So this is not the same as your cheat sheet. These are the players that we think are most likely to go based on ADP adapted for this league setting. So we still got Mahomes in there. It knows that this is a super flex league, so it needs to adapt the ADP for that. And then whoever he picks, we'll enter them with that blue check mark. And notice that as soon as I checked on Saquon Barkley for the one pick, it took us straight to the second overall pick. So literally all I'm having to do here is just tap the button of the player who goes each time. In the first round, the player's going to be right there in front of us. But in later rounds, we might need to filter by position, or you can just search players. So that's often a very easy way just to get up the list of players, unless they're called Williams or something like that. You're going to be able to find the guy you want pretty easy. If someone does happen to pick a player who isn't in our database, first of all search, and then you've got this plus player button here, and you can enter a first name and a last name, their position, and the NFL team they play for. We're just going to jump back onto desktop now. I'm going to show you guys a couple more things. So one of the things that I'm aware of is an issue in real drafts is pick entry. Obviously, in the heat of the moment, some of you might like a beer or two during the draft as well. It's not always going to be perfect, but we've got you covered there as well. So a couple of tools you've got here. So notice, of course, now we're on desktop, we've got this exact same interface as we had on the draft board tab on phones. It's just stuck down the left-hand side of the screen. Incidentally, this grid button up here does give you the draft board grid layout as well, if that's something you like to look at. So a few different things. Firstly, if you want to reset to a certain pick, let's say we just completely messed up ever since pick 102, you've got a reset button here when you click on the pick that's already been made. Okay, so then that would reset the draft to the second overall pick. Another option you've got is you can correct a pick that you've made that wasn't the right pick. So let's say my bull Zach Ertz, this is a great team name, didn't actually draft Zach Ertz there. He drafted someone else. So again, we click on the pick and we select the player that he did actually pick. And then this option here gives us a couple of choices. Okay, so the swap one is we just plain got it wrong. We meant to pick on McCaffrey. We meant to click on McCaffrey. Instead, we clicked on Ertz. Ertz shouldn't be there at all. It instead should be McCaffrey. So we'd hit swap. However, if it was the case that we're kind of 5 picks further on down, and Ertz was correct to put in, it's just that we missed out McCaffrey, and Ertz was actually the next pick at 105. What we can do is hit insert, like that. And you'll see it's put McCaffrey to the 104 pick where we inserted him and moved Ertz down. So this can be a lifesaver if you realize you forgot a player kind of 10 picks or so ago. You can just click on that pick where they should have been, find him in the list and hit insert, and you're good to go. Okay, so that's all with real drafts. Again, on desktop, it's going to navigate this to the next pick every time you enter one. So we can't make this quicker. Just find the player in the list, hit the blue check, and get on with it. Even if you're copying from a draft board that's up on the screen or on a bit of paper or whatever, again, just one click per pick, in it goes, and you're good to go.